What's up everybody, this is Tuba Solo. I was tagged by Goat Mumbler for the YouTube 10 question challenge and this is my video. How I got started in hiking and backpacking was actually going on YouTube and just watching a bunch of videos and just kind of enjoying all the different content creators and all the gear videos and everything that got me really interested, and that's what I probably appreciate the most about YouTube is the ability for all the people with like interests to be able to get together and kind of talk and just kind of see all the different things that are out there and all the different things that people are creating. I would say the best advice that I would give to a new YouTuber is learn how to get the most out of the camera that you're using. It goes so much beyond just, you know, frames per second. I mean, bitrate is a huge thing. I mean, I use a GoPro Hero 4 Silver. Half the time that I used it, I didn't even realize that turning on the Pro Tune settings actually increased the bit rate dramatically. So it's kind of interesting. You see, like from my videos from where I started to where I was going, where I first started with the cell phone, and then I moved on to my GoPro Hero. Even some of the stuff that I did on my GoPro doesn't look as good as the stuff does look now. Based off the fact that I just didn't know how to use my camera. Another thing that I would say also is make sure that you're shooting for what you plan to actually ultimately encode to. So if you kind of like that more cinematic feel, you want to, you know, make sure that you shoot your original video in 30 frames per second or 24 frames per second. Or if you're really into that kind of 60 frame per second, like that new school really polished look, then you want to make sure that you're shooting in 60 frames per second and then encode to 60 frames per second. So it's just an issue of really learning how to use your camera, the settings on it, and how they translate into the video editing process, and then ultimately how they translate into the final version that you end up posting on YouTube. I really don't know where I see my channel next year. I mean, hopefully, Lord willing, I stay healthy and I continue to make videos, adventure videos and gear videos. I mean, that's something that I really enjoy. Hopefully I get to do that for many years to come. Okay, there's one thing that I would change about YouTube which drives me nuts. It's YouTube's compression settings. Essentially, you spend all this time learning how to use your camera, you spend all this time learning how to use your editing software, you spend all this time developing a video that looks really great in its raw format, and then you upload it to YouTube and it turns into a giant, not so great video, we'll just put it that way. You could just tell that the quality of the video when I encode it at home is so vastly better than what it looks like on YouTube, that I just, you know, if there's one thing that frustrates me about YouTube is when you upload your content, how the quality, yeah, just really is not as polished as it is when it first gets spit out by your computer at home. Up in the Sierras over there by Mount Whitney, they don't let you just, not that they don't let you, there's really no place to dig a cat hole if you're going to go number 2. So you have to use what's called a wag bag, and essentially it's a bag that has some powder stuff in the bottom. And one thing I didn't know, with the powder stuff in the bottom, you actually have to put water in there, a little bit of water, to kind of make it start the deodorizing process. So I didn't know this information. I just thought you went into the bag and, you know, the stuff that was at the bottom kind of took care of the smell and everything like that. So I used my wag bag the night before I summited Mount Whitney, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't realize to put a little droplet of water in there to get it going. So I sealed up my wag bag, you know, went back to camp, didn't think anything of it. And before I left in the morning, I actually put it underneath a rock thinking that it would be out of the sun and everything, you know. So I'm thinking I'm being real smart, you know, I'm putting it under this rock. Well, it turns out that that rock was like the worst place I could have put that wag bag. I mean, it got so much sun. By the time I came down, when I saw like how much sun was hitting it, I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. There's just no way. So here we have this wag bag that's been roasting in the sun all day. So needless to say, it was already rough to begin with. But the best part is, that's not even the funny part of this story. So I pack up my camp and everything, and I got this wag bag hanging from the back. I'm not even willing to put this thing in my backpack. That's how bad it smells. So it's hanging off the back of my ULA circuit. I kind of got it hooked in there somehow. And the funny part is that here I am trekking down the trail, and that day was like the day that all like YouTubers, I guess, decided to converge on Mount Whitney. There were 3 YouTubers out there. Potato Thorn, he's pretty. He's got some pretty cool stuff. And then of all people, Will Dotson and John Amorisano, they were doing their L to H trek up to Whitney, and that was the day that they were on their way up to stay at trail camp, or I think just below trail camp was where they stayed. But I knew that they were coming. That was the thing. Potato Thorn, the other guy from YouTube, he kind of had tipped me that was the day that they were going to be coming up, and I'm thinking to myself, before all this is happening, I'm thinking to myself, dude, this is going to be the coolest thing, man. I get to meet some of the people who I just absolutely think are the greatest. I've been watching John and Will's videos from the beginning. And here I come trekking down with my disgusting wag bag, and here comes Will and John and their entire company of people on their L2H. And Will, I yell out at Will, I'm like, hey, Dotson, and he yells out at me, hey, Tuba, So I'm walking up to them thinking, oh my gosh, I've got this horrible bag of crap hanging on the back of my backpack. And Will comes up to me and he's like, dude, what's that smell? And I'm like, I'm so sorry, it's my wag bag. And I just kept walking. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't even talk to them. And I passed by John and I said, hey, what's up, John? I said, I'm so sorry, dude, this wag bag is awful. And Will kind of gave me a little crap about it. No pun intended, but he gave me a little crap about the bag. And I passed by John and all the kids and the adults that were with them on their L2H. And I passed them up and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And here I am, dude, I'm so embarrassed, to the absolute maximum. Here I'm seeing 2 of the, my 2 YouTube heroes, and I was just like, dude, I'm so sorry for the smell of this. And they were very gracious and stuff like that, they understood. That's just the reality of it. But dude, talk about being embarrassed. And the worst part was, when I got home, my wife was like, why didn't you just set your bag down and then come back and talk to them? And I was like, I don't know. Why weren't you there to tell me that? So yeah, not only did I blow an opportunity to meet 2 of the coolest dudes that I think are on YouTube right now when it comes to backpacking and hiking, but yeah, I was walking around with a wag bag that had been roasting in the sun for about 18 hours. So yeah, talk about first impressions. Camera that I would buy, I actually wrote this down, I'm going to read it from the paper that I have here, a Canon PowerShot G7X Mark II. It's the one that has a little flip screen. It is by far one of the best vlogging cameras. It's small, it has that flip screen on it, and the video that it produces is absolutely stunning. One of the funny things is that I immigrated to America from Romania, so I'm an immigrant. I wasn't born here. I came here when I was 4 years old, and I'm 38 now, but I definitely consider America my home, and this is my home, and I love this place. But yeah, I was not born in America. A second thing, I'm a musician also. I have been playing bass guitar for, gosh, it's gotta be almost 20 some odd years now. Bass guitar is my primary instrument. I also play acoustic guitar and electric guitar. But yeah, I'm also a musician. A lot of people don't know that about me. Number 3, this is kind of interesting. Going back to Romania, I was actually the second biggest baby born. I don't remember what weight it was. My mom told me a long time ago, but I was the second biggest baby born in the hospital where I was born at in 1978 in Romania, Arad, Romania. And yeah, so I hold that title, so that's kind of interesting. A lot of people don't have that. And as you can see, I grew up from that, big baby into just a big dude. So apparently that was my destiny right from the get-go. The fourth interesting thing I would say is that I'm relatively new to hiking and backpacking. A lot of people probably don't know that. I'm just about 4 years into this. I spent a lot of my first, 2.5, 3 years doing a lot of day hiking, and that's how I kind of got into backpacking. I started meeting up some people and just talking to them and seeing the stuff that was happening on YouTube and talking to people on YouTube. I really got interested in the backpacking also, not just day hiking. But yeah, I'm relatively new to it. I'm just 4 years now hiking and backpacking. I mean, I went, when I was younger, we went to the outdoors and we went on some hikes and stuff, but it never really stuck. All of a sudden one day I woke up and was thinking to myself, I went on a hike and I was thinking to myself, like, my goodness, it's absolutely stunning around here. And I think that's really, as an adult, I kind of realized, like, hey, there's this beauty all around us here in Southern California that you're missing out on. And I think that's really where that love kind of started to grow for hiking and backpacking, where it was just, not only was it challenging, but it was absolutely beautiful everywhere you went. And the people that you met were really great. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I've only been about 4 years into this whole hiking and backpacking thing. I would probably scream and then take my YouTube partner check and buy all brand new gear, and all of it would be from Z-Packs. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I would just buy a whole brand new Z-Packs kit. Whole new tent, whole new sleeping bag, whole new bag. The first one right off the bat was Pharaoh. He's a dude from this local area. He walks through all the San Gabriels, and I just really enjoyed his videos, and he just it seemed like he was always generating content and always out there and always just showing what's going on out there. And I think at that time I was so like, I had this epiphany moment where I'm just like, wow, everything's so beautiful around here and hiking. I really enjoyed watching his videos, and they were very instrumental in me continuing to pursue day hiking and backpacking. Because a lot of places that he went to were very interesting to me, and I thought to myself, like, my goodness, these are just 40 minutes down the road from me. Another person, another two people actually. There's two guys, Rami Dog and Jason Huckabee from Huck Outdoors. Those two guys, the reason that they were very instrumental to me was that they seemed like regular dudes. Again, two dudes from my area hiking the places that I hike. And they just seemed like regular guys, and it kind of encouraged me. If anything, I was like, dude, I don't have to be like super duper gnarly athlete or anything like that. Just get out there, man. Get out there and have a good time. Like Rami Dog, I remember watching him, just struggling up these trails and stuff, and just thinking to myself, like, yeah, dude, that guy's doing it. I think I can do that too. Two other people are, and I mentioned them earlier, they're Will Dotson and John Amorisano. I really dig their videos and stuff. I really dig their videography. I love the fact that they use music and stuff like that, and they just kind of really made it seem exceptionally fun to do. So they were very instrumental in what in kind of, again, helping me, encouraging me to not only get out there but also to build a channel and kind of explore that part of me and do everything that I do with music and videography and what have you. But another thing that I really appreciated, I learned a lot from both John and Will, just watching their videos, just on backpacking process. That was huge. I can't say thank yous enough to them. That a lot of what I do, you see in their videos, and I've gotten a lot of tips and tricks from them and their videos, and just watching, seeing what kind of gear they're using, seeing what kind of clothes they're wearing. Like one of the best videos was Will Dotson's video where he's prepping his food for an adventure that he's about to go on. I mean, tips that are just phenomenal if you really keep an eye on what they're doing. They're really refined systems, and they work really well. One other person for videography, which, I mean, if I could ever pick a channel that I would want mine to be like, it would be the dude from Day Unto Day. That kid, I mean, he's like a 14-year-old kid or something like that, or at least that's what I see right now. He's probably obviously gotten older in the last few years here, but I mean, what he was doing at 14 is what I wish I could do now, and I'm eager to see as he continues to develop as a content creator. I mean, his stuff is just absolutely pristine. If you want to see some really good outdoor videography, I would certainly suggest, check out Day Unto Day. I mean, those are some of the people that that were most instrumental for me, and that I love watching their videos. Now there are tons of other people that I love watching. Now I'm definitely going to put them in the description below, but as far as, you know, some of the ones that I really like, those are probably the group that were most instrumental in my development in backpacking and hiking and wanting to build a channel. If this is your only job, you may want to look into some kind of retirement plan. I'm just saying. I don't know. I get the sensation that you know, maybe it's just my being the old schooler that I am. Yeah, you might want to look into getting a job after the fact, because, man, this train certainly can't be going like this for the next 30 years. But yeah, look into some retirement if this is your only job. I want to say once again thank you to Goat Mumbler for tagging me in this video. I want to actually tag two channels here if I can. Jason Huckaba from Huck Outdoors and Evan's backpacking videos. By the way, check out those two channels, Huck Outdoors and Evan's backpacking videos. Two really great dudes, and yeah, I hope they take up this challenge, because I would certainly like to learn more about them and just kind of how they developed into the content creators that they are today. All right, thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll see you out there. Take care.